The sky, once a tranquil blue, was ablaze with an eerie, growing light. It was as if the heavens themselves had been set on fire, a celestial canvas painted with hues of orange and red. The transformation was both mesmerizing and terrifying, a prelude to an event that would change the course of history forever. It pulsed with an inner fire, casting an infernal glow upon the prehistoric world. The light danced across the ancient terrain, illuminating the rugged landscape in a surreal glow. Shadows stretched and contorted, creating an otherworldly scene that seemed almost too fantastical to be real. The prehistoric world, usually bathed in the soft light of the sun, was now under the spell of this fiery enchantment. The air crackled with an energy unknown, a silent harbinger of the cataclysm to come. It was as if the very atmosphere was alive, charged with a power that defied comprehension. Electric sparks danced in the sky, a prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. The prehistoric world was on the brink of an unprecedented event, one that would leave an indelible mark on the planet. Below, oblivious to the celestial drama unfolding above, dinosaurs continued their timeless routines. They grazed, hunted, and roamed the land, unaware of the impending doom that loomed over them. The sky, now a tapestry of fiery hues, went unnoticed by these ancient creatures. Their world, so familiar and unchanging, was about to be irrevocably altered. Giant sauropods grazed on ferns as tall as trees. These colossal creatures, with their long necks and massive bodies, moved with a grace that belied their size. They were the gentle giants of their time, feeding on the lush vegetation that thrived in the prehistoric forests. The ferns, reaching skyward, provided a bountiful feast for these herbivores. Tiny raptors chased insects through the undergrowth. These agile predators, with their keen senses and swift movements, were masters of their domain. The dense undergrowth provided ample cover for their hunting expeditions as they darted through the foliage in pursuit of their prey. The forest floor was a bustling ecosystem teeming with life and activity. The earth was alive, unaware that its reign was nearing its end. The vibrant landscape, filled with a diverse array of dinosaurs, was a testament to the planet's thriving ecosystem. From the towering sauropods to the nimble raptors, each species played a crucial role in the delicate balance of life. Yet this dynamic world was on the cusp of a monumental shift, one that would bring an end to the age of dinosaurs. The dinosaurs, lords of their domain for over 180 million years, were about to face their greatest challenge. They had ruled the earth with unparalleled dominance, their reign marked by both majesty and might. But now, an unstoppable force was hurtling towards them, a harbinger of change that would test their resilience and adaptability. The age of dinosaurs was drawing to a close, and a new era was about to begin. An immense rock, a relic from the early solar system, hurtled towards Earth at an unimaginable speed. This colossal asteroid, forged in the crucible of the cosmos, carried with it the potential for unparalleled destruction. As it sped through the void of space, it was a silent witness to the eons of history that had shaped the solar system. Now it was on a collision course with Earth, its trajectory set to alter the planet's destiny. This asteroid, a mountain of extraterrestrial rock and ice, carried with it the power to reshape the planet. Its surface, a rugged landscape of rock and ice, was a testament to the harsh conditions of space. As it drew closer to Earth, the sheer magnitude of its destructive potential became apparent. The impact would unleash forces beyond comprehension, triggering a chain of events that would forever change the course of life on the planet. The dinosaurs, for all their might, were powerless to stop it. They could only watch in helplessness as the massive object descended from the sky, a harbinger of their impending doom. The once dominant rulers of the Earth were now at the mercy of a cosmic event beyond their control. The age of dinosaurs was ending, and a new chapter in the history of the planet was about to begin. Before the cataclysm, Earth was a paradise of biodiversity. Lush forests carpeted the land, teeming with life. Dinosaurs, in all their shapes and sizes, ruled this world. Giant herbivores like Brachiosaurus towered over the landscape, their long necks reaching for the tops of trees. Smaller feathered dinosaurs flitted through the undergrowth, their bright colors a stark contrast to the looming shadows of their larger brethren. The oceans, too, were teeming with life. Massive marine reptiles like the fearsome Mosasaurus patrolled the depths. Sharks, in forms both familiar and strange, hunted among coral reefs. The air was filled with the cries of pterosaurs, flying reptiles that soared on leathery wings. This was a world of vibrant life, a tapestry woven over millions of years. The asteroid, a 6-mile-wide behemoth, tore through the vacuum of space at 40,000 miles per hour. It was a remnant of the early solar system, a colossal rock that had wandered the cosmos for billions of years. Its surface was pockmarked with craters from countless collisions, a testament to its long and violent history. As it hurtled through the void, it was a silent witness to the birth and death of stars, the formation of planets, and the endless dance of celestial bodies. Invisible to the naked eye, it was a silent stalker, moving with a purpose that was both ancient and inexorable. Its path was set by the gravitational forces of the solar system, a cosmic ballet that had been playing out for eons. The asteroid's journey was a reminder of the immense and often unseen forces that shape our universe. It was a harbinger of change, a force of nature that could alter the course of history in an instant. Its trajectory set on a collision course with Earth, the asteroid was a ticking time bomb. Scientists had long warned of the potential for such an event, but their warnings had often gone unheeded. Now, as the asteroid drew closer, the reality of the threat became undeniable. The calculations were clear. Impact was inevitable. The question was not if, but when. And when it did, the consequences would be catastrophic. The energy it carried was unimaginable, equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. The impact would release a force so powerful that it would dwarf any human-made explosion. The shockwave would ripple through the planet, causing earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. The sky would darken with debris, blocking out the sun and plunging the world into a prolonged winter. The very fabric of life on Earth would be torn apart. This celestial wanderer, a leftover from the formation of the solar system, was about to unleash its fury upon an unsuspecting world. It was a relic of a time when the solar system was a chaotic place, with planets and moons still forming and colliding. Now it was a messenger from that distant past, bringing with it a reminder of the fragility of life on Earth. The asteroid was a force of nature, indifferent to the fate of the creatures that inhabited the planet. As the asteroid drew closer, its gravitational pull began to tug at the Earth. The effects were subtle at first, barely noticeable, but as the distance between the two bodies decreased, the pull grew stronger. The Earth's crust began to shift, causing tremors and quakes. The oceans responded as well, with tides growing higher and more erratic. The planet was beginning to feel the presence of the intruder. The tides grew stronger, higher than ever before. Coastal areas experienced unprecedented flooding, with waves crashing over seawalls and inundating low-lying regions. The power of the ocean was on full display, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. The asteroid's approach was causing a chain reaction, with each effect amplifying the next. The planet was being reshaped by forces beyond its control. The very ground beneath the dinosaurs' feet began to tremble. These mighty creatures, rulers of the Earth for millions of years, were unaware of the true danger hurtling towards them. They continued their daily routines, oblivious to the impending catastrophe. The ground shook with increasing intensity, a prelude to the devastation that was to come. The dinosaurs were about to face an enemy they could not see, a force they could not comprehend. Still, they were unaware of the true danger hurtling towards them. The asteroid, a silent harbinger of doom, drew ever closer, its shadow falling long across the planet. The creatures of Earth went about their lives, blissfully ignorant of the fate that awaited them. The asteroid's approach was a slow-motion disaster, unfolding over days and weeks. But when it finally struck, the impact would be sudden and devastating. The asteroid, a silent harbinger of doom, drew ever closer, its shadow falling long across the planet. The world was on the brink of a cataclysm, a moment that would change the course of history forever. The impact would mark the end of an era, the extinction of the dinosaurs, and the beginning of a new chapter in the story of life on Earth. The harbinger of doom was about to make its mark. Section 4. Cataclysm. The impact was instantaneous, an apocalyptic event that forever scarred the Earth. the asteroid slammed into the shallow waters near the Yucatan Peninsula with the force of 1 billion atomic bombs. The energy released was unimaginable, vaporizing the asteroid instantly and creating a crater over 100 miles wide. The Earth shuddered under the impact, its crust rippling like a pond disturbed by a stone. The immediate aftermath was catastrophic. Trillions of tons of molten rock were blasted into the atmosphere, creating a fiery rain that fell back to Earth, igniting global wildfires. Earthquakes of unimaginable magnitude ripped across the planet, reshaping continents and swallowing entire islands. Tsunamis, towering thousands of feet high, raced across the oceans, obliterating coastlines and drowning everything in their path. Section 5. The Long Night. In the wake of the impact, a pall of dust and debris enveloped the Earth. The collision was so catastrophic that it sent shockwaves across the globe, shaking the very foundations of the planet. The sky, once a canvas of blue, was now a swirling mass of darkness and chaos. The air was thick with particles, making it difficult to breathe and see. The world as it was known had changed in an instant, plunging into an era of uncertainty and despair. The sun, once a source of life and warmth, was blotted out. Its rays, which had nurtured life for millions of years, could no longer penetrate the dense clouds of dust. The temperature began to drop rapidly, and the warmth that sustained life started to fade. The days grew shorter, and the nights seemed endless. The absence of sunlight disrupted the natural rhythms of life, throwing ecosystems into disarray. Plants, which relied on sunlight for photosynthesis, began to struggle. The energy flow in the food chain was severely disrupted, leading to a cascade of effects that would soon become catastrophic. A long, cold night descended upon the planet. Temperatures plummeted, and the once warm and hospitable Earth became a frigid wasteland. The cold was relentless, seeping into every corner of the globe. Rivers and lakes began to freeze, and the ground became hard and unyielding. The cold night was not just a physical phenomenon, but a symbol of the darkness that had befallen the world. It was a time of great suffering and hardship, as life struggled to adapt to the new harsh conditions. The cold night seemed to stretch on forever, with no end in sight. The once vibrant ecosystems were plunged into darkness. Forests that had thrived for centuries were now shrouded in gloom. The lush greenery that had been a hallmark of these ecosystems was replaced by a somber, lifeless landscape. The animals that called these forests home were disoriented and confused. The delicate balance of nature was disrupted, and the intricate web of life began to unravel. The darkness was pervasive, affecting every aspect of the environment. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the interconnectedness of all living things. Plants withered and died, starved of sunlight. The process of photosynthesis, which had sustained plant life for millions of years, came to a halt. Without sunlight, plants could not produce the energy they needed to survive. Fields that had once been lush and green were now barren and lifeless. The death of plants had a ripple effect throughout the ecosystem. Herbivores, which relied on plants for food, began to starve. The once vibrant landscapes were now scenes of desolation and decay. The loss of plant life was a devastating blow to the planet's biodiversity. Herbivores, their food sources gone, perished by the millions. The lack of vegetation meant that there was no food to sustain these large animals. They wandered the barren landscapes in search of sustenance, but there was none to be found. The once thriving populations of herbivores dwindled rapidly. Their bodies littered the ground, a grim testament to the severity of the crisis. The death of herbivores had a profound impact on the entire ecosystem. Predators, which relied on herbivores for food, were now faced with starvation. The balance of nature was irrevocably altered. Carnivores, their prey decimated, soon followed. With the herbivores gone, the food chain was broken. Predators, which had once been at the top of the food chain, were now struggling to survive. They too began to perish, their bodies joining those of the herbivores in the desolate landscape. The death of carnivores marked the collapse of the entire ecosystem. The intricate web of life that had sustained the planet for millions of years was now in tatters. The once vibrant and diverse world was now a shadow of its former self. The impact had triggered a chain reaction of environmental disasters. The initial collision was just the beginning. The force of the impact set off a series of catastrophic events. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis ravaged the planet. The very fabric of the Earth was torn apart, and the environment was thrown into chaos. The natural disasters compounded the effects of the initial impact, making it even more difficult for life to recover. The planet was in a state of constant upheaval with no respite from the relentless onslaught of disasters. The massive amounts of sulfur released into the atmosphere reacted with water vapor, creating sulfuric acid rain. This toxic rain fell across the globe, further poisoning the already devastated environment. The acid rain burned through vegetation, corroded rocks, and polluted water sources. It was a deadly cocktail that added to the misery of the surviving life forms. The acid rain was a stark reminder of the far-reaching consequences of the impact. It was not just the immediate effects that were devastating, but the long-term environmental changes that would shape the future of the planet. This acid rain poisoned the soil and water, further devastating the surviving plant and animal life. The once fertile soil was now toxic, unable to support new growth. Water sources, which had been lifelines for many species, were now contaminated. The few plants and animals that had managed to survive the initial impact were now faced with a new threat. The poisoned environment made it nearly impossible for life to recover. The planet was caught in a vicious cycle of destruction, with each new disaster compounding the effects of the previous ones. The Earth, once a paradise, had become a desolate wasteland. The vibrant, diverse ecosystems that had flourished for millions of years were now gone. The planet was a shadow of its former self, a barren and lifeless expanse. The impact had left an indelible mark on the Earth, changing it forever. The once thriving world was now a testament to the fragility of life and the power of nature. The desolate wasteland was a stark reminder of the consequences of the impact, a sobering reflection on the impermanence of life. The reign of the dinosaurs, which had lasted for over 180 million years, was over. These magnificent creatures, which had dominated the Earth for so long, were now gone. Their fossils scattered across the desolate landscape were the only remnants of their once mighty presence. The end of the dinosaurs marked the end of an era, a turning point in the history of the planet. The world would never be the same again. The extinction of the dinosaurs paved the way for new forms of life to emerge, but it would take millions of years for the planet to recover from the devastation.